So, left the house and, well, started making my way, as this was a 3-hour drive to Seattle, like last time. And, well, I didn't have to wait as long for my flight, because I actually got this one fairly early in the morning, so I didn't really screw around in Seattle. I pretty much just went straight to my aunt's house, and she took me, and I was on my way, but on the way towards my aunt's house, had to deal with some minor setbacks in traffic, like we got some construction here on the Vantage Bridge, and once I got a bit closer, there was also some construction about 30 minutes away from where my aunt was, but after dealing with construction, finally made it, and my aunt had taken me to the airport.
I was able to get through TSA pretty quickly.
After making it through TSA, I saw this weird little automated robot that takes around elderly people or disabled people, but eventually I went and grabbed myself some lunch, and yes, I did get myself a whole ass pizza, because why not? But after the pizza, I had went and just kind of screwed around in the airport for about an hour, and then waited around for my flight, and we were on our way to Salt Lake City. 2.5 hours later, we finally landed in Salt Lake City, got to see all the different salt fields all over while flying down into Salt Lake, which was pretty cool. But now it was time for the hard part.
Well, now to figure out what to do for the next 4 hours.
So, having to wait for these dreadful 4 hours, I decided just to pretty much draw the entire time while getting some delicious Shake Shack. After all that was wrapped up, finally went outside for about the last 20 minutes and waited for my brother, and we were on our way to sleep for the first night. Today was the first official day of FanX, and me and my brother, we made our way into the building, got our wristbands, and after that, we made our way towards Celebrity Row, and the celebrity I ended up getting for my autograph was none other than Phil Lamar. And I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with the poster that I got, and I was happy that I got to talk to him. After I had gotten my autograph, me and my brother, we had went and gotten lunch, and after lunch, we made our way to a panel, and it was a Has-Been Hotel panel with at least half the cast, and one of the cast members being Keith Davids, so that was cool. But let's rewind a little bit. When I had lunch, we had both gotten some pizza, and they, well, of course had drinks, and I just wanted a water. Well, instead of bottled water, they had canned water. And it just wasn't any ordinary canned water. It was fucking canned Dasani, which somehow was even more dry than the bottled version. So, yep. After the panel, my brother had abandoned me so he can go do some things at his house, so I was just left alone.
This is absolutely nuts, just how big this place is. I'm loving it.
Saw some cosplays around like this guy in an inflatable Among Us suit, and then proceeded to do some shopping for some friends that had given me some money to get them some things at this convention that they may have been interested in. After doing some shopping, I then saw this vendor that was working on an indie animation, and they encouraged me to apply for the voice acting, and so, well, I did. So, you know how earlier when I was talking about the Phil Lamar autograph, well, I also did another autograph for a friend, and now I was trying to do another autograph for a second friend who wanted Keith David's, and well, Keith David's line was absolutely packed earlier, so I figured, well, why not come back later? And I came back later, and well, his line was capped off and was closed for the rest of the day, so I'd have to come back tomorrow. Did some more looking around and a little bit of shopping here and there, and well, eventually ended up leaving for the first day. Day 2 of the con was a lot more packed considering it was a Friday, but nonetheless, me and my brother made our way to Celebrity Row. Went and got my spot in Keith David's line and proceeded to wait about 4.5 to 5 hours. And why did it take so long? Well, because it was VIP members. They get first treatment, and even when the line is gone, if even a single person gets into the VIP line, they get the treatment first, and this kept building up, which kept us waiting even longer. The wait was so long that Keith Davids himself had to go and take a break, So Grant saved our spot in line, and I went and grabbed us lunch, proceeded to wait a little bit more, and finally got the signature. After the autograph, me and my brother just kind of wandered around for the last couple hours of the con, since most of our day was spent in Celebrity Row, but there was this one vendor that was advertising booty shorts, so yeah. Then we proceeded to go get some lunch, or dinner in this case, and we saw a little Eevee concert going on up on the stage behind us. After eating, we proceeded to this artist in Artist Alley, and Grant had bought some art from him, and he had gotten entered into a raffle, but sadly Grant didn't win the raffle, but nonetheless, the guy had some really good art. Didn't record a whole lot on day 2 since most of my time was spent in Celebrity Row, but I looked around Artist Alley for some potential things that I could buy on the last day of the con. It's now the last day of FanX, which means it's the last day to get any merchandise I want. But this day, I was mainly focusing on just looking at cosplays, and well, that's pretty much what I did. I mean, I still wanted to do some shopping, but this group of people here, dressing up as the Shadow Wizard Money Gang, the Pope with some bodyguards with him, and this group of guys dressed up as the employees from Lethal Company. After seeing a couple more cosplays, I was moving on to my mission, which was to find a standee that I found in Artist Alley the previous day, but didn't end up buying it because it was so close to closing. I just figured, why not wait till tomorrow? Well, it's now tomorrow, and I have spent an hour in Artist Alley trying to find where it is. But after my hour, I had finally found it.
I finally fucking got it.
After finding what I needed, I started looking at some other vendors that had a lot of overpriced stuff like these Legos. Moving on, I saw this Game Boy phone case, but ended up not getting it, but still pretty cool. And also, to be honest, out of all the furry cosplays I saw at this convention, I was not expecting Tails. So that was a surprise. There was a Star Wars cosplay meetup, so I went and saw that, and there was quite a few really good cosplays at this meetup. Took a look into some of the Lego minifigure vendors, and sadly, I saw a Skibidi Toilet, so that was cool. But to be fair, there were also some cool minifigures, along with some other vendors that were selling some good stuff as well.
Overall, a bunch of really great art, great cosplay, just overall great experience. Probably going to be calling it here soon. I mean, I got my shopping done and everything, so overall, great experience.
After spending the whole day here on the last day and buying everything I want to buy and seeing everything that I wanted to see, this convention was an overall great experience. But like all good things, they all come to an end, and so the next day came around and it was time for me to go home. But with that, I gotta say, FanX was an amazing experience, and you bet your ass I'll be back next year.